Daybreak in 10 on Color 10 with you commercial free until the end of the show. Let's get it started with your forecast first. That's where we check in with TJ Springer, who brings it to us.
Always our favorite time, Joe. Good morning. Temperatures not too bad at all today, and they're going to continue to warm up. Look at this nice sunrise underway here. Taking a look in Springfield, northeastward, just a couple of clouds out there as a weak disturbance is situated to our north and east. Not really going to impact us aside from that. Ahead of this and our next storm system, high pressure is in control. We're a lot warmer than our Tuesday. Some of us 16 degrees warmer, like Fort Wood 14 in Springfield, Branson now 16 degrees for the warmer, with temperatures in the 40s for many, 50s even in Harrison, Arkansas. But there are some spots closer to freezing like Lake Ozark, Fayetteville. So you'll still want a jacket if you are heading out early on this morning for your commute, but shouldn't have any issues there. Satellite and radar showing those clouds really breaking up westward to east as high pressure is taking over, and it has been in control. I shouldn't even say that, taking over. It's kind of battling out those clouds, if you will. We'll give it the green light. Milder, as I mentioned, nice for the ride on home. Temperature is going to be hanging in the 50s, I'm sure, by 5 o'clock. Smooth sailing. Could have some spots still in the 60s as well, but with the clear sky, temperatures do start to cool down pretty quickly. Don't get to stay insulated as long. It'll be great to get out the grill if you want to do some of that outdoors. Anything outdoors today will be wonderful. 67 by 3 o'clock, above average, quiet by 6. So again, by that evening commute, upper 50s, lower 60s likely as you head on home. But we are looking at some changes once we get past a possibly record-breaking Thursday. We're looking at some rain, some moisture moving in, and possibly some wintry weather. Colder nonetheless. We'll have that last look at that 7-day forecast in around 10 minutes, Joe.
All right, for more than a decade, Troop D of the Missouri State Highway Patrol has collected toys for children spending time in the hospital over Christmas, and they're doing so again this year. The donations are coming in a different looking way than years past. Nigel McDonald is at one of those locations where you can drop off and help out, though. Nigel, good morning.
Yeah, Joe, well, good morning. We're here at Krispy Kreme on South Campbell, and there are already a couple of toys being added to the collection here, but of course they need the community's help. Now, this is the 14th annual Corporal John A. J. Sanpietro Jr. Toy Drive. Now, Corporal Sanpietro died in the line of duty in 2005, and this effort serves as a way to honor his service. Now, toy donations can also be made at Troop D headquarters. Toy needs include things like coloring and activity books, board games, Hot Wheels, and action figures. Toys will be delivered by hospital staff this year instead of troopers to help ensure safety. Then also there's a cool incentive for you to come out and support the community. If you stop by either Troop D headquarters or Krispy Kreme and you donate a toy like one of these new unwrapped that values $10 or more, you'll receive either, if you stop here, you'll get the donuts, the original glaze, 12 dozen donuts, or a dozen of donuts right in your hand. Or if you stop by Troop D headquarters, you can get a coupon for the glazed donuts as well. Again, this drive will last until December 20th. They're asking for the community support as these toys don't just go to kids in the hospital during Christmas, but also throughout the entire year, as sometimes kids end up in the hospital for different reasons. So what better way to help out this time of year than stopping by and donating a toy for a good cause? Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
Thank you, Nigel. Health officials are concerned upcoming holiday gatherings could bring another spike in COVID cases locally. Both Cox and Mercy say they're operating at full about 60% of the time because of the coronavirus. It puts a strain on both facilities and hospital workers. Health officials made their case to extend the current masking ordinance an additional 90 days into April. But there is the issue of compliance and the burden on businesses and individuals that takes.
I think it's clear to me that this is a bridge to a time when we can open things back up full bore. But in the interim, we need to be compliant with the mask ordinance in places of business. And I'll take it a step further. When we're interacting with anybody that doesn't reside under the same roof as us, we should probably, given current disease trends, be behaving as if they have the disease, and we might want to mask in those settings as well.
City Manager Jason Gage says we are entering into the most difficult phase of the pandemic, and it's time for enforcement to issue citations, which could happen soon. Moving on now to put some crime into focus for you here. A Springfield man facing charges in a double homicide will have a bond hearing later this morning. He's 43-year-old Matthew Plum and is currently being held on no bond. He's charged with 5 felonies, including first-degree murder and the double homicide case that happened in Willard November 14th. 28-year-old Alex Shute and 30-year-old Brianna Spruill have been identified as those victims. Plum is accused of lying about a stolen gun days before the shooting and then providing an alibi for a woman that was actually involved in this. An Ava, Missouri teen is facing 2 felony charges in connection to a statutory rape case in Douglas County involving someone under the age of 14. 18-year-old Shaylin Leeper has been charged with first-degree statutory rape or attempted statutory rape and sodomy or attempted statutory sodomy. The lobby of the headquarters of the Springfield Police Department will again be open this morning in just a few minutes from now. We told you yesterday that the lobby had to close due to short staffing concerns. Those have been taken care of, opening back up that lobby at 7 a.m. In some news around the region for you, St. Louis Mayor Lyda Krewson has said the St. Louis region is expected to get about 150,000 vaccine doses later this month. 50,000 from Pfizer, 100,000 from Moderna. The city says it will follow CDC guidelines for who gets the vaccine first. Healthcare workers and long-term care residents in the county could be getting vaccines by the end of this month. Widespread vaccinations, though, will take several months. The toilet paper rush of 2020 made news everywhere in the world, but it's been turned into a Christmas light display in Kansas City. This homeowner is an artist, so when it came time to decorate for the holidays, he decided to put his extra plywood and scrap lumber to use.
It was toilet paper. It's been kind of a crappy year, and I thought it'd be a good way to kind of wipe the year away, you know?
Too many puns happening right there, but very good to see. In some other news from around America that we have to bring you, an explosion at a chemical plant in West Virginia has injured 4 people and has caused a shelter-in-place order. That's been lifted, but it went into place overnight. The explosion caused a massive fire about 12 miles from Charleston that injured a few workers. As we said, that shelter-in-place order was for people within a 2-mile radius. That's how big this explosion was, but it's been lifted as of this morning. No word yet on what caused that explosion. In some news around the world for you, nearly 1,700 passengers on a Royal Caribbean cruise from Singapore were told to stay in their cabins after a coronavirus case was detected on board. All passengers had cleared a mandatory test for COVID before the cruise started earlier this week. The infected passenger was an 83-year-old male. He was reported to the onboard medical center with symptoms. Royal Caribbean says all guests and crews of the ship who had close contact with the infected guest have tested negative. The passengers and crew will stay on board in their rooms until contact tracing can become complete, though. Following up on Great Britain now, which has started giving people the Pfizer vaccine yesterday, 2 have had allergic reactions to it. British health regulators say people with a history of serious allergic reactions should not get Pfizer's shot. And back to some more local news. A quick check on this real quick for you here. Springfield Public Schools will be breaking ground on the new Jarrett Middle School later on today. The new school will serve up to 725 students once completed in 2022. You can attend the ceremony in person beginning at 3 p.m., or you can also watch the event through the district's Facebook page. A quick look at some trends happening right now. The Supreme Court is what people are talking about as it has overruled Pennsylvania's request to reverse its certification of its election results. President Trump, of course, won that state back in 2016. Joe Biden won it this year. The Supreme Court turning that down. Very warm day on tap for us, right, TJ?
It really is, Joe. So nice near 70 Thursday, but tracking some changes, possibly some wet snow across parts of the area on Saturday.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for starting off your morning with us here on Daybreak.